So to record the transaction, there are certain rules, and those rules now I am going to explain you. Okay, now see, recording rules are basically based on one accounting equation. These are the accounting rules. These accounting rules are basically based on these accounting equation. Okay, suppose you want to start a business, isn't it? Now see, to start a business you need money. Without money you can't start the business. So see, so what is the first stage? You will first employ, you might have some money with you, so you will invest that money in the business, isn't it? Suppose you are the owner, suppose your name is Mr. X, isn't it? You are the owner and you started this business. This is the name of business B. You are the owner and this is the business. So to start this business, first you will invest your money, isn't it? So that money invested by you, the money invested by the owner is known as what? Capital. Now suppose to start a business, suppose you require $10,000. How much dollar? 10,000 you require. But you have only 6,000. So it means there is a lack of money. How much? Yeah, 4,000. So for 4,000 money you need to arrange, because to start a business you need $10,000. 6,000 you have. Okay, now 4,000 more you require. So that 4,000 what you will do? 6,000 you have. So you will take a loan, and that loan will be termed as what? Liability. So the money invested by the owner is known as capital, and the money taken from outsider, that is known as what? Liability. Now somehow you arranged $10,000, 6,000 you invested, 4,000 you arranged from a bank as a loan, isn't it? And now you started the business, and when you start the business, of course you will make sales, isn't? And that sale is also one source of fund, one source of finance actually. Yeah, not profit, sale. Yeah, revenue. So see, so these three items are what? Sources of finance. So money, the capital is what? Money invested by you. Liability is what? Money taken as a loan. And when you start the business, of course you will make sales, isn't it? And that sale is also one source of finance, and that sale is known as what? Revenue. Now tell me how much money you have now. Yeah, 12,000 you have. Now question comes that what you will do with this 12,000. Of course, see what you will do with this 12,000. You will buy some properties, some assets, because to run and start a business you need some property, like you need land, you need building, you need computer system also in your business, isn't it? Out of this 12,000 you brought assets of 5,000. Now tell me remaining amount. Yeah, that 7,000 what you will do? You will keep with you to meet out the expenses, routine expenses. So these three items are what? Sources of finance. And whatever money you will collect, that money you will use either buying property or meeting out your routine expenses. So these three are known as what? Sources of finance, and these two are known as what? Uses of finance. Now see, these assets and expenses are on which side? This is left side, and in accounting left side is known as what? Debit. In accounting left side is known as what? Debit. Now see, the liability, capital and revenue all are on which side? On the right hand side. And in accounting right hand side is known as what? Credit. Get my point? So means left hand side is what? Debit, and right hand side is what? Credit. Suppose you have one motor car and you brought one more motor car. How many motor cars now you have? 2 motor cars. What you have done? You have added or you have subtracted? Yeah, addition, definitely. So see, in mathematics what we have to do? We add. But in accounting, see, to add and subtraction we use debit and credit. In mathematics, to add and subtraction we use plus sign and negative sign, isn't it? But in accounting, to add and subtract we use what? Debit and credit. Suppose I brought one furniture. One furniture. Now tell me, furniture is assets or expense or liability, capital or revenue? Furniture is asset. And what is the value of furniture? Suppose 2000. One furniture you brought and the value is how much? $2000. Now you brought one more furniture. Suppose you brought a table. Let me take, you brought here chair. And now you brought one table. One chair you brought and one table now you brought. Suppose the value is $500. Okay. Now what is the total value? Tell me. This 2500 is the total furniture you have in the business. Now see what you will do in the records. Now see, assets are on which side? Debit side. So first you brought, when you brought the furniture, what you have to do? You have to debit the furniture. Getting my point? With 2000. Now next time again you brought one furniture. This time you brought table. Isn't it? So you need to increase the value of asset or you need to decrease the value of furniture? Increase the assets. So to increase the asset, what you will do? You will use debit side. Because assets and expenses are on which side? On the debit side, left hand side, debit side. So what is the rule? Whenever there is increase in asset, we will not use a plus sign. We will use which sign? Debit. In mathematics we use plus sign, but in accounting we will use debit and credit. But debit we will use for addition, for assets and expenses. Suppose there is any asset, if there is a increase in asset and expenses, so we will not use plus sign, we will use which sign? Debit sign. And if suppose I sell, suppose I sold out that old chair I sold out. Now tell me, furniture increase or decrease? Decrease. So in mathematics we use which sign? Minus sign. But in accounting we will use which sign? Credit sign. Credit sign for what? For assets and expenses. So see the rule. See, this is the rule for assets. If there is increase in asset, so we will debit. Decrease in asset, we will credit. Yeah. Now same thing for expenses also, because expenses are also on which side? Debit side. So if in the business there is increase in expenses, we will debit. And to decrease the expense, we will credit. Now see, liabilities, capital and revenue are on which side? Credit side. So whenever there is increase in liability, capital and revenue, what we will do? We will credit. And whenever there is decrease in liability, capital and revenue, what we will do? We will debit. Opposite. So these are the rules.